The first question is just tell me like a little bit about what Pocket Change is and how it got started.
Perfect, absolutely. Pocket Change is basically a resale business. We go and thrift and look for items that typically would be looked over, and we kind of see them as something that could be made new or improved if it's styled with something else or thrown on with just other items, and so we style it. And we then kind of bring it to life, and we allow clothing to then be recycled and be put in a new owner's hands. And it kind of started by I one day was driving and I thought of the name Pocket Change, and I'm not really sure why that came to mind, and so I kind of just was like, okay, weird, I don't know. So then later on the same day, I was going thrifting, and I was like, okay, you know what, maybe like this could be a thing. Maybe I could go thrift and like resell these items, and it'd be so fun. Claire, and so then I called my friend Claire, and she was just instantly the first person I thought of. We both wanted to be apparel merchandising majors, and never did it because other things came up.
Right.
And so we were like, all right. And so I asked her, I was like, hey, here's the idea. Would you want to be in on this? And she was like, absolutely. And so we were like, all right, I think we're going to call it Pocket Change, and we're going to try it. We went into the thrift store, and we were like, if it's really hard to find some things, then we know it's not what we're supposed to do. We found one pair of shoes, and then we were like, all right, grab a cart. And from then on out, it just kind of started. And within the next day, we shot pictures and had it posted online.
Yeah, that's amazing. So social media wise, like what kind of advertisements did you do to kind of like kickstart the business?
So Claire and I both have just like a normal following via our personal accounts, and so we did a lot of the publication from our own accounts and just like getting some attention there, but also we just asked our friends to kind of give us shout outs, and so it was really just a big collection of like teamwork of our friends kind of wanting to help us pursue our dreams.
Right. And like post wise, like what did your advertisements say, or what did they look like?
I think initially it was basically we just set it up of like, here's what it is. We're thrifting items, we're selling items, and this is, and like you can comment, and so we just explained the process.
Right.
And we explained what was coming, and so we did that via like Instagram stories. And then we just kind of at the beginning we just tried it. That was a big deal. It's just kind of going for it. And so that looked like us just posting pictures of the items and saying how much it cost. And so really there wasn't much explanation behind it or preparation. It was kind of like we live in a big world, and so we're going to just try things, and if it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So like what did your responses look like? What was kind of like the initial response from your audience?
The initial response was really encouraging. We didn't have an issue right off the bat selling, and so it was really cool because we were like, wow, this is going to work. And we gained quite a few followers, and obviously the followers that we gained were interested in buying, because when you have Instagram that is a direct market toward selling items, people aren't going to want their feed to be filled up with things that they don't want to buy. And so all of our followers are majority girls. I think legitimately we probably only have like 5 guys following us, and those are probably just our guy friends wanting to encourage. Yeah. And so our initial response from people were girls who wanted to buy and wanted to share it and wanted to be a part of it.
Right. So have you like partnered with any of these girls to kind of like be brand influencers?
So we, our main idea is to be inclusive in the community. And so majority of the idea originally, it was just like, it was to just like get some extra money as college kids,
right.
To do this, and then it really just took off, and we were like, okay, let's get other girls involved in this, and like let's be passionate about this. And so we started to grab models different than just Claire and I. That way we could expose beauty in all aspects. And also, when those girls are tagged in our photos and we get to document how beautiful they are, they want to go and share on their personal accounts as well. And so by using lots of different models, it allowed more of a traffic flow to our account from other people, because all of us are from different places, and so that's bringing a whole other set of followers.
Right. Oh, wow, that's amazing. So just as like you mentioned problems selling, like you didn't have any at first, and now do you guys have any problems like completing sales just with specific items, or what does that look like?
I think that really we just started taking note of like what's the style that we want to have,
right?
And like what are things that the girls respond to the quickest, or we get the most wants and needs for. And so we just really started paying attention to that. I know that like shoes don't typically sell as well. And so we've kind of really stopped buying shoes unless we are like, holy cow, those things are incredible.
Right.
So really it's just taking note of like what is being bought and sold. And so that's just organization of us, of having a spreadsheet of knowing, okay, here are the things that sell when they're posted and when they're sold. And so then we have a date to date. And we take note, okay, if a denim skirt didn't sell for like 4 days opposed to our other items that sell within the hour, then we know maybe the audience isn't really looking for a denim skirt right now.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's amazing. You guys are doing a great job of marketing to your audience. So more on the social media side, how do you guys handle just like the constant flow of people DMing you, and like who handles the social media aspect?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have broken it down. Originally, it was Claire and I together, and we both have the account on our phones, and that got really kind of complicated because we were trying to reply to people, and I wouldn't see that she was replying, and she wouldn't see that I was replying, and then we both send a reply to this poor girl, and she would get virtually the same answer but 2 answers, which is a little bit
confusing.
much.
Yeah.
And so we decided that we would do it like week by week, and so Claire would manage 1 week and I would manage another. And even then, just in the way that we communicate with people is different. And so logically we were like, okay, Courtney, you are better at doing financials and doing organization and shipping, and then doing all the like logical things.
Right.
And Claire, you are good at communicating with people, and you are good at running the sales, because Claire used to work at a place very similar to like Plato's Closet or like a resale place.
Mm-hmm.
And so she knows how to like mark things. And so right now Claire is in charge of doing the communicating back and forth between sales. But anything that goes on via our social media has to be checked by the other person. So it's very much a co-ownership or running of the account. But right now it is typically Claire that is the one that is communicating with people through the sales.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. You guys have done an awesome job of like splitting things. I know how difficult that can be, just utilizing each other's strengths. Have you found like any downfalls to using social media?
I think that sometimes it's a natural thing of social media can cause comparison in whatever aspect you may be working with. So that could be your personal accounts. It could be comparison to like Free People Art Anthropology, or any of those places that we're like, heck, those places are our goals. Clearly,
right.
Like we're not producing our own clothing, but they do a really good job of marketing.
Yeah.
Or it could be comparison to girls that are doing similar things, or it could be comparison to photographers, or whatever it may be. I think that social media really brings in an aspect of comparison, and comparison is the thief of joy. And so
yeah.
I think there's been a battle of just reminding ourselves, hey, like, we're going to use social media for what it is and as it is good. And so that is communicating with other people, that is making connections, that is spotlighting the beauty of girls and the creativity of other artists or photographers or anything that it may be. And so really the downfall of social media has become something that we are trying to platform on, of making it actually like the most positive thing that we can possibly do.
Yeah, that's amazing. You kind of already answered this a little bit, but just how is social media influencing your company and continuing to influence, whether that's just logistically or just connecting with people? What does your reach look like?
Yeah, for sure. I think that social media, I mean, this business would not be a thing without social media. We are able to reach girls from, I remember last year there was a girl here that we're friends with, and she transferred to a school in New York. And because of the fact that we have social media, we now have customers from New York because she has shared things there to people that she now knows. We have girls that buy from anywhere from Florida to, I think we had Minnesota, and we had California. So we've really gone all over the U.S., which is so cool because realistically we're here in Fayetteville, where I'm from Missouri and Claire's from Arkansas, and those are two centrally located places. And so social media has allowed us to reach geographically places that are so far. As well as social media has just really allowed a large spotlight to come our direction. And so that being even adults or people outside of the college atmosphere of just our friends, adults are getting to see it. And it's something that is so public, and people are just welcome to come and follow or unfollow or whatever they may do. Social media has just really kind of granted us a lot of opportunities of connection and spreading the word and reaching places we otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Right. Wow. Amazing. So kind of on like the malfunction side, have you guys had any malfunctions or any challenges that you faced like because of social media?
I think sometimes the busyness of social media, you can kind of get lost amidst other people's pictures, or maybe you can communicate one. I think like just communicating online can be difficult because people read things certain ways, and so when trying to communicate business wise, but you're also trying to be personable, it can be really hard to try to balance that of having it be, this is a business, and so we are going to be serious, but we also want to like make our customers feel loved. And so I think communicating via social media can kind of be complicated in that manner of not being able to like fully communicate what you are trying to.
Right. So have you like done any research on or like specific brands that you really admire the way they communicate and develop their content?
I think a lot of it is us just looking a lot of social media is just honestly aesthetics, and so we do a lot of research of like photographers,
right,
how to style shoots and like what is on trend. I wouldn't say trendy, but I would say on trend, something that's going to last, but is also what people want right now. And I think that, like, looking at Anthropologie or Free People or Urban or whatever those big names are that we want to look like, even though we're on such a small scale, is really important because it's like, okay, what is pleasing to the eye? What do we like about them? What do we dislike? What can we do? But I also think that through our research, we've also found that, hey, we are two college girls that are just doing this for a heck of a lot of fun. And so we have to just stay true to who we are rather than trying to be someone else.
Right. No, I love that. And just the way you guys are touching on comparison and just problems that can come from the world and what social media is. Kind of thinking a little more long term, like how do you expect like this company to grow, or where do you see it going long term wise?
We actually were sitting on the floor at my house, and I think I was like cutting a dress and fringing it up or something, and Claire was sorting clothes and was doing all this, but she had caught me in a moment of I was trying to get some homework done. I had a big test the next day, as well as my roommates were trying to watch a sermon, and so we're all like going different directions. And the reality is we have family lives, and we have our futures to plan for, and we have classes and tests and yada yada yada. And so running a quote unquote business can be really really stinking difficult because we're like, okay, how serious about this are we going to be before it's taking over our whole lives? Or should we put it on pause for a moment because we do have other things to focus on, like college?
Right.
And so right now, or we were sitting there and we were like, okay, I know we're just in college right now, but like I would love to do this after college. And we both kind of were in agreement of like, if this were to take off and this were to be something so cool, like we both have a passion and a desire to keep going, but we're not certain what that looks like or what's in store for us.
Yeah.
So I mean, we would absolutely love to have to go thrift and have a huge inventory and open a stinking warehouse building somewhere and just have it be a little shop. That would be incredible. But reality is we are just doing the online side of it right now and trying to figure it out as two freaking busy college girls. And so I'm not sure about where the future goes, but our dreams are really big in hopes of like extending how many items we sell per day, or maybe getting items out each day to sell, or whatever it may be. But we do plan on growing, but we're just not sure what that looks like right now.
Yeah. So in your like daily life, what does social media look like? Do you ever get like tired of it? Do you ever take breaks?
I do. I just have to be careful. I mean, I'm just not a big phone person. I like to be face to face with people.
Right.
And I love to just like do life. I'm not a big phone person, so that has been a little bit challenging of having to have my phone on me. It's almost like being on call, especially for Claire, because she is the one managing like the communication back and forth between a seller or between a buyer. So it has been difficult in the fact of like wanting to take breaks. But the thing is right now we are only selling 3 days a week, or posting, I guess, is a better way to phrase that. 3 days a week, and so we do have the 4 other days to just rest and relax and not have to worry about it. And also just like having social media and Instagram, it can be really fun. And it's a really cool creative outlet, and I know that both of us really love to write, and we love to like take pictures and be creative and whatever it may be. So it's a really cool outlet for that. So in a lot of ways, it can be tiring, but it can also be really life-giving.
Right. Yeah. So just as a whole, like, do you think social media has like grown you as a person?
Social media definitely has. I think that there's a really cool aspect of social media and the way that you can come alongside people and encourage them and let them know what they're doing is so cool and it is of value and of worth. And I think that it's grown me in a way of, hey, I do love to write and I do love things that look beautiful and are nicely placed next to each other and are aesthetic and whatever it may be, all those things that might be to our culture really cool but also kind of frowned upon because it's like, oh, you're just trying to follow the fad. I think it's given a really cool opportunity to say, hey, if we really love this stuff, then we're going to go for it. We're going to continue to do it because that's what being true to ourselves is. And so I think it's kind of grown us in a way of, hey, number one, we're not going to compare to other people. Number two, we're going to stay true to who we are. And number three, we're going to only do the things that are life-giving to us. And so that might be life-giving to us could be commenting on girls and reminding them how beautiful they are, or encouraging photographers in their creativity, or honestly just like taking constructive criticism, taking advice, taking what the public says. It's been really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. So kind of like going to the background a little bit more when Pocket Change started, what kind of experiences like prepared you for this kind of scale of social media and just like using it as your main platform?
That's a good question. I don't know that we were really prepared. I don't know that we ever expected this at all. I think that this came out of nowhere, which is so stinking cool.
Yeah.
I have some experience in the photography world, and I love to write, like I mentioned, and so I have a personal blog, and so that's not necessarily Instagram, but it is still out there in the social media world. It doesn't reach quite a large audience, but it prepared me to have my work or to have my creativity or whatever it may be out there for the public eye to see. So I would say that's probably the only way I was prepared, is like, okay, I was used to having some people look at some of my stuff that I do. Or just like having your personal accounts has been fun and kind of grown us and like seeing what direction we want to take with that, whether it be like really funny and lighthearted or more serious vibes or whatever it may be. And I think Claire, she has a blog as well. And so I think, yeah, just having both of our own social media creative outlets before this probably prepared us in the best way that it could have. But I don't know that we were fully prepared.
Yeah, wow. I think you guys have just done a really amazing job of loving your consumers really, really well. And I just admire that about your company and your personalities so much. You guys are just really doing a great job to share the vision of what God has for his children and the women that he's bringing. I think you guys are doing an amazing job of making a community of women. How has that community kind of shifted as you guys have continued? I know you touched a little bit on inviting other women in on it. Expanding wise, like what would that look like?
Well, thank you, first off. But I think what's been the most rewarding thing is I was talking to so at first it was just like friends that we would ask to come and model for us, and like you're gonna have girls don't want to come and model, you know, like that is the biggest compliment, and like also you get free pictures of yourself, like,
right?
All of that, and so it was just like a really fun thing, but I think what the most rewarding thing is talking to a friend, and she said, "Hey, today I really felt beautiful.
Yeah.
Y'all, the way you encouraged me while I was getting my pictures taken and the things that you put me in made me feel really girly, where I otherwise struggle to feel. And it made me feel beautiful and seen. And I think that has been really cool. And so girls sharing their testament of like, instead of feeling uncomfortable in front of a camera or uncomfortable in a skirt or whatever it may be, they felt beautiful and they felt encouraged. And so by them sharing that, then other girls are more excited to be there. As well as we have gained followers and asking girls if they would like to model, we've just gained like new friends that get to come and model for us. And girls that we didn't know before are excited to come and be a part of it. Which has been really cool. Or we have photographers that want to come and take pictures, and then they have friends that want to model. And so it's just been an expanse of the community.
Right. That is just so beautiful, and it's a really great way to just share the gospel and love on one another. And wow, it's just really, really amazing. That just blows my mind. That's all the questions I have. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add about Pocket Change or just about your experiences?
I'm trying to think. I think that it's just I think that social media does a really good job of the highlight reel. And obviously as a business, we're going to show the good things.
Yeah.
But I think that there also has to be an importance of, like the reality that sometimes it can be hard. And kind of confusing to run a business, and we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what the heck we're doing. And so a lot of the times, if we mess up, we're like, dang it, laugh about it, and try again. And so I think there's just like an importance of knowing that like, this has been really cool to share the gospel this way. But the whole point of it is like, we are broken people running a business through social media, which is so broken and adds to like the chaos and the disrupt of people's lives. And so knowing that like, we are so broken, and that is really important because that's where like the beauty is.
Yeah. Wow. That is a really beautiful message. I'm just so thankful that you were willing to do this interview. And I'm just so looking forward to whatever you guys have in store next. You guys do a really, really great job, and I truly admire everything you guys post.